Tasting like a boss. I know that there's a lot of yard work sounds behind me, guys, but you know what? We're just gonna have to deal with it. We live here in Florida, and the yard people doing the yard work back there are people, not only do I love the neighbors, I love the people who are doing the yard work. So I can't really shout at them like, guys, shut up, so I can do something on YouTube that it's a very small channel, but what I'm doing is so much more important. And quite frankly, just a little too lazy to go inside right now. And it's a really nice day. It's overcast. It's going to rain. In fact, I feel a little drizzle and stuff, but just the air on my skin feels nice. I got Kylo here. He's all happy. Dustin's over here, but he's not wanting to get in frame right now, which is probably good because they like to fight when they are. But today's review is different than all of the other reviews I have done up to this point, except for one, which I actually never made public because it didn't go well. It was I had a problem with the camera and everything else, and so I'm gonna have to redo it. But this is a Tasting Like a Boss that is not about coffee. You might say, well, sometimes you do things that aren't coffee. True, but this is my first Tasting Like a Boss that is tea. We're gonna be doing Bigelow Coffee's Caramel Apple Tea. This is the green box. I saw it in green and red, but you know what? Ooh, they have an explanation on the top. Yep, I guess they're going from this version to this version. It's the same thing. And I'm doing this review because one of our viewers has asked for it, I think 2 or 3 times. And I kept saying, I'm gonna get to it, I'm gonna get to it, because I thought I could just find it at the grocery store, and I never could find this particular one at the grocery store. So I got on Amazon. And when I got in green, that's when I kind of freaked out, and I thought to myself, oh no, did I get the wrong thing? But I did get the right thing, and it is fresh. This one's good until June of 2026, so there you go. I decided to brew it, just steep it in boiling water for 3 minutes like it says to do. You can do a little bit longer, then pour over ice if you want, but I didn't do that. And, you know, interesting thing about Bigelow is that originally I thought, okay, well, yeah, Bigelow, I know that they own the Charleston Tea Garden, which is the only tea garden in the United States. It's huge, and it's beautiful. You know, it's also very interesting because it may not be exactly what you think it is going to be, but I know that they provide all of the United States provision of teas to a lot of different tea companies. But interestingly enough, Bigelow, though they own it, they don't use that tea leaf for purposes of their own tea. They get their tea from India, and what they source from the United States is their mint from the Pacific Northwest. So if that's huge for you, I guess you could say that this tea just isn't American and you can't have it. I just don't see it that way at all, especially since they own the only tea garden in the United States. So not gonna have any anger there. This is a black tea, so it's gonna have caffeine. And in fact, it tells you the type of caffeine it has in it. It says, hey, coffee is gonna have 100 to 120 milligrams. Oftentimes the coffees we do, you know, is a bit more, but okay. Their black tea is 30 to 60 milligrams. So, you know, lower bit of caffeine, but you know, might be good for people who are caffeine sensitive and want something lower. So here we go. I have brewed it. I have brewed it in a secret cup so you can see it. It smells of apple and butter, which I thought was interesting because it said a decadent blend of buttery caramel and sweet apples. And I do smell caramel and apples and the buttery aroma. So it smells really good, but is it gonna taste really good, or is it going to taste really good? See what I did? That's right. This whole series, whenever I do tea, we're gonna call it Tastin' Like a Boss, because that's witty. And I'm just a witty guy, guys. You know that. All right, let's get down to tasting. Tasting like a boss. Well, thank you, viewer, for the suggestion. I forgot the name of the viewer. I am so sorry. If it comes to me, I'll mention the next Tastin'. And who knows, maybe you'll comment and say, thank you for finally doing it. That's really good. And if I'm not mistaken, I imagine why this viewer did it is, you guys know that I think with one exception, I've had just a horrible time when it came to apple flavored coffees. They just didn't taste like apple. and it was bothering me. And oftentimes when I cold brew, the coffee that you get is almost tea-like. This, you know, obviously it has no coffee flavor to it at all, but the apple taste is there. It is, you know, I guess you could say that it tastes cidery, but the caramel is there as well. And you know, it doesn't taste like there's butter in your mouth, but it does taste like caramelly, buttery caramel and sweet apples. I mean, nailed it. Tastes like what it's supposed to taste like. So, that's really good. You know, because I'm not really affected too much by caffeine, I could see me drinking this as opposed to a non-caffeinated drink closer to bedtime, especially since it's such a lower amount of caffeine. I don't think I'd start my morning with it because I'm just so used to doing it with coffee. But you know, on a day like today, I haven't had any coffee yet, and this is rather pleasant. So if I guess if I'm having a slower morning where I'm wanting to sit down and read a book and sip some warm herbal tea, that's it. And I know for a fact this is going to taste good on ice. So, all right. Well, thank you, viewer, and thank you, viewers, for watching and being on this flavor journey with me. So, Bigelow Caramel Apple Tea. I'm glad it was a good tea for our first Tastin' Like a Boss. Until next time, hit like, subscribe, and share. Yes, indeed, I am a day and a little bit more into that other coffee from Too Much Coffee where I'm drinking the whole bag. I'm thinking it's going to be a better review than the last two. Let's put it that way. So until next time, people, from the Chihuahuas, from Boss to Boss, from the family to you guys. Until next time, keep tasting like a boss. Thanks so much.